EYESHADOW. Today we are doing a look using the Dior Black Bow palette. This is number 079 and it came out in the fall of last year as a part of a new eyeshadow collection by Dior. The quality of these quints is amazing, everyone thinks so, and I have to agree, and I own a couple of them, but I haven't used this one on YouTube yet. So I thought we could do a look together and I'll tell you a little bit more about it and show you some swatches. So the quint exists of course 5 shades, and they're mostly shimmery, the silver ones being metallic, the white and the taupey one being a satin, and the center one is a black matte shade. I don't use the black matte shade too often, but I have used all the other shades quite a lot, and I love creating this kind of wintry, glittery looks with it. It's a very easy palette to use, so especially this silver shade over here, it just blends out so easily with no fallout, and the application process is really quite something to enjoy. So I have to say that I did a look with the denim palette also, and one with the Christmas palette, and I like this one more. I only received it for Christmas a couple of months ago and I have used it several times since. So that would be my 411 on the palette. Let's go into some swatches. This is the pink taupey shade, which is very nice and creamy. Then we have the white shade, which is sort of pearlescent. It shape shifts a little bit, so on my arm it looks a little bit more pink and on my eye it looks a little bit more silver. It's a very pretty shade. Then I'm going to swatch the black matte. This is one swipe. You see, the pigmentation is very nice because it is buildable, but it's not very patchy, so that's something I enjoy in a black. And as you can see, you can build it up. I don't think it's going to be that dark unless you put it over a tacky base, but it is a nice deepening shade. It is user-friendly, as people like to say. Then this is the lighter silver one. That was one swipe. I don't know, Dior really kills it with their silvers. There was also a nice silver in the holiday palette. Maybe I can swatch them side by side. This is the other silver. And this one is a little bit more difficult to swatch. It's supposed to be a little bit more dark, but I think the main difference is that this one has a lot more sparkle in it. So maybe this is more of a top coat and maybe this is more of a true metallic. Oh, I never noticed that before. It's always fun to do some swatches, isn't it? So this is the palette they came out with for holiday 2020. It's called Black Night. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's quite a similar color story. Let me put them side to side. So this one is a lot darker. It only has one lighter shade, and this one has several midtones and then one white. So there's a clear difference there. But otherwise they do seem quite similar. And I'm especially interested in comparing the black and the silver. So I'm going to put them side by side. This was the black from the Black Bow, and I'm going to put... This black is a lot deeper. This is the black from the Black Night palette, and it swatches a lot more intense right away. So let me do a double swatch of this one. Yes, this one does go a lot deeper, so I think that's in line with the rest of the palette. And then I want to swatch the silver one, which is actually a little bit more like this one. So it's a little bit more dark. I prefer the silver in the Black Bow palette. But I don't know, I have both palettes and I use them for very different things. So I'm not mad about having both. I think they would combine beautifully, and you know, I think they're very different. But if you don't wear a lot of cool tones and the looks you go for are usually quite smoky, and you already own the Black Night palettes, then I would skip the Black Bow palette. But if you're interested in some nice Dior silvers and you don't own anything like this yet, I think it would be a great palette. And now let's go into this eye look I created. So we're using the pretty Black Bow palette today. And I want to do my signature look because I created one with this palette and I think it's very pretty. I'm not using the black shade, I'm only using the white, silver and grey shimmer shade. And I'm just going to do a simple eye look using those three colors. You could really take this palette to a whole other level using the black shade and really making it very smoky. But I don't like using that palette for that thing. So for the sake of this tutorial, I think I'm only going to use the little applicators that come in this palette. So I primed my eyes using some concealer and then set it with some translucent powder. So I think we are good to go. First I'm going into the silver shadow right here. And I'm using my little applicator. And I'm going to put this in the inner half of my eye, but not in the inner corner. I'm first applying it on the lid, and then with whatever is remaining on the brush I am putting it over the lid just a little bit on the crease, which creates a soft transition from the darker silver to a lighter silver, which I think is pretty. Now with the other side of the applicator I'm going into this darker grey silver and I'm going to put that in the outer half of my eye. And I'm taking it a little bit in a wing shape. I wanted to use these applicators because they're actually not that bad. It all depends on the look you want to create. And when I first got into makeup, I didn't have any makeup brushes, I didn't use them. I just bought these palettes and I used what was in it. And I still think the looks came out quite alright. So for any of you who don't own any makeup brushes, but you do own this kind of palette, I want to show you what it can do. So I'm going a little bit over the other silver shade, just to make sure they're properly blended. As you can see, the difference between the two is not very big, but big enough. Now I'm taking the smaller applicator on the same brush and I'm going to do the same thing underneath my eyes. So I'm taking the lighter silver and I'm putting it in the inner half. And then I take the darker shade and I put it in the outer half. And using these little applicators also ensures that you don't get a lot of fallout. And then of course I'm connecting it to the upper grey and blending them together. And I really like this look. It's very party, but still appropriate. I don't know, it's very easy, but it's very pretty, I think. So now I'm going to clean this thing a little bit on my hand, because we are going into the white shade, which is this one. It has a little bit of a shimmer, and I like using this one in the inner corner. It has actually a little bit of a silver tone in it as well. So it's really pretty. And I like to make the inner corner with this shade pretty big. And then also go up a little bit and connect it to the other silvers. There, that's it. Now these new Dior quints come with little brushes as well. I would usually take my own brush for this, but I wanted to show you how well this would work. So we are going to blend out especially this outer corner a little bit more. Just with little circular motions. And that's it. I'm going to do the other eye. I'm going to apply some mascara and then we can finish the look together. I'm back. I just finished the look using a little bit of Givenchy Disturbia mascara. This one. You could also use lashes. And I wanted to mention, you could of course also use the black shade in the palette and put it as eyeliner at the lash line. But I kind of like it like this. I just really love these silver shades. They're just so pretty. So this is my go-to look with this palette. Now let's finish up the rest of the face. Because the eyes are so cool toned, I like using a very pink blush. And I thought we could go into the BH Vanilla Strawberry Truffle palette together. There's this really pretty, there are a couple of really pretty pink shades, but I'm especially drawn to this one for this look. It does have a little bit of shimmer. Could actually also be used as a blush light, blush highlighter combo, I think. I think that's a beautiful combination. By the way, if you want to know what's on my face, I'll leave everything in the description box. But I would like to mention that I am wearing my Guerlain foundation again, the L'essentiel Haute Perfection Tenue foundation. And I did do a review on that just a couple of days ago. In case you are interested, I'll also leave that one down below. Now for highlighter, I want to do something nice and pink. And my go-to for a nice and pink, not too bright highlighter is actually the highlighter in the Ambient Ghost palette from Hourglass. Because recently, like almost everyone else, I'm not always into these super bright highlights anymore. Sometimes I like a little bit more subtle highlighter, like this one. And this one has a very nice pink undertone. Just gives a nice candlelit glow. Nothing too crazy. Yes, I like that look every now and then. And then to finish up with the lips, I thought let's go with my classic of late. This is the Live It Up lipstick by Charlotte Tilbury. It's in the Kissing formula and it's my go-to for cool toned looks. I have a couple of other cool toned lipsticks, but this is my favorite and I wear it all the time. So this is the finished look using the Black Bow palette by Dior. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you like this kind of content. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!